Oh English me, oh English me, gusto kong matuto ng Ingles pero hindi alam kung paano.
Good evening, class. Since this is the last night, we'll end by answering the most essential question throughout our study of English for academic and professional purposes. So that question is, how can I, okay, that's addressed to you actually, how can I write effectively? Let's start with the very first paper we've studied, the abstract. So we learned that by writing abstracts, we are able to help our readers, and also abstracts help us, if we're the reader, in identifying the essential parts of a certain reading. If it's very long, we'd want to know what it is about first before we actually read the full text. So that is the function of the abstract. And when we write abstracts, we write the gist or the main idea and then the main supporting information only. No more, no less. The second paper we wrote is the reaction paper. And here we focus on the dominant impressions that we have of a certain piece of, let's say, patent work. It can be literary, it can be artistic, or scientific at that, if it's an invention. Even though it's governed by impressions, still, we describe the impressions using words that appeal to the senses, like our sense of sight, hearing, taste, etc. Then, when we wrote our concept papers, we learned how to explain our proposals. If we want to convince a certain authority body or person to approve our projects or proposals, we have to show him or her the best case and worst case scenario that would happen if our proposals got approved. It's expository in nature. It's purely relaying information, but with the intent to gain approval. Moving on, we learned about writing our opinions, making a stand on an issue, and defending it through opposition paper. And then lastly, we learned the way of writing technical reports. Research papers are usually the reports that are written in a senior high school program, college even. So how do we expose our discovery in an objective way? Considering all the types of paper that we've written, we can come to a conclusion that to write effectively, we have to know our purpose. This is the second habit in the list of Stephen Covey's tenets. Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. So if you know why you're writing something, you'll be able to write it effectively. That's the first step, and the rest will follow, maybe through constant revisions and practice. That's it for English for academic and professional purposes. Continue surviving in the dark when you write your future papers. See you on the next playlist.
Oh English me, oh English me, gusto kong matuto ng Ingles pero hindi alam kung paano. Sino ang magtuturo? Gusto kong matuto na talaga. Oh English me. Salamat Sir Jeremy sa pagpapaliwanag sa amin kung ano ba ang punot dulo ng pag-aaral ng English for academic and professional purposes. Ngayon ay panatag na ang loob namin para magbasa at magsulat ng English sa mga susunod pang chapter ng aming buhay. Maaring dito nagtatapos ang playlist ng AAP pero hindi pa natatapos ang production ng content. Mga ilang linggo lang na season break at lilitaw ang panibagong playlist para sa isang kurso sa K-12 Senior High School. Salamat sa panonood. Ako muli si Kuya N. Kita-kits sa susunod na playlist ng English Me dito sa Nocturnal Sage, a guide for those left in the dark.